Imagine waking up one morning, checking your bank account before you even brush your teeth, and realizing that money came in while you were sleeping. Not because you won the lottery, not because you inherited a fortune, not because you quit your job and became a social media influencer. The deposits came from several different sources, each working quietly in the background while you were focused on living your life. Now imagine something even more powerful. What if you could build that reality without risking your paycheck, without walking away from your health insurance, and without gambling your family's financial security? That's exactly what many financially successful Americans have done. They didn't wake up one day and suddenly become wealthy. They slowly built multiple income streams while keeping the stability of their 9-to-5 job. In today's economy, relying on a single paycheck is becoming one of the biggest financial risks you can take. Companies restructure, industries change, artificial intelligence is transforming careers, and unexpected layoffs can happen even to top performers. The people who thrive aren't always the ones earning the highest salaries. They're the ones who create several ways for money to reach them. Meet Jason. A few years ago, Jason looked like the definition of financial success. He earned nearly $90,000 a year, contributed to his 401k, maintained a good FICO score, paid his taxes on time, and never missed a mortgage payment. From the outside, everything looked perfect. But beneath the surface, one uncomfortable truth kept him awake at night. Every dollar he earned depended on one employer. If that job disappeared, so did his income. That realization completely changed how he thought about money. Instead of asking how he could earn a bigger salary, he started asking how he could create more sources of income. That single shift in thinking became the turning point that transformed his financial future. Here's something most schools never teach. There are only so many hours you can work, but there is no limit to the number of systems you can build that generate income. Wealthy people understand that income doesn't have to come from a single source. It can come from your labor, your investments, your skills, your intellectual property, your business ownership, and your assets. Every new stream may seem small at first, but together they create something incredibly powerful. They create financial resilience. If one stream slows down, the others continue flowing. Instead of standing on one financial pillar, you're standing on several. One of the biggest misconceptions is that creating additional income requires quitting your job. In reality, your full-time job is often the best tool you have for building wealth. It provides predictable cash flow, employer-sponsored health insurance, retirement benefits, and sometimes even matching contributions to your retirement account. Those benefits create stability while you build new opportunities after work and on weekends. Rather than viewing your job as a prison, start viewing it as your primary investor. Your paycheck becomes the fuel that finances the next stage of your financial life. The first mindset change is understanding the difference between earned income and asset-generated income. Earned income depends on your time. You clock in, complete tasks, and receive a paycheck. Asset-generated income continues producing value even when you're not actively working every minute. Dividend-paying stocks distribute profits. High-yield savings accounts generate interest. Bond funds produce income. REITs allow investors to earn from real estate without personally managing tenants. Digital products can continue selling long after they're created. Every asset you build is another employee working 24 hours a day on your behalf. Think about your paycheck differently. Instead of spending every extra dollar after paying bills, ask yourself one simple question every payday. Can this money buy something that will eventually pay me back? That question changes everything. Maybe it's investing in a low-cost index fund. Maybe it's purchasing equipment for a small side business. Maybe it's paying for a professional certification that increases your market value. Maybe it's buying software that allows you to freelance more efficiently. Instead of seeing dollars only as something to spend, begin seeing them as employees you can send out to earn more dollars. Another mistake people make is believing they need thousands of dollars before investing. Technology has changed the game completely. Fractional shares allow investors to buy pieces of major companies with relatively small amounts of money. Automatic investing makes consistency more important than timing. Instead of waiting until you feel wealthy enough to invest, Investing regularly is often what helps build wealth over time. Consistency usually beats perfection. Let's talk about the first practical income stream almost every working American should consider. Investing doesn't provide overnight riches, but it creates one of the strongest long-term wealth-building systems available. If your employer offers a 401k match, ignoring it is often like refusing part of your compensation. Those matching contributions can significantly increase your retirement savings over time. After capturing that benefit, many investors also explore Roth IRAs or taxable brokerage accounts depending on their financial situation and eligibility. Broad market index funds have historically rewarded patient investors who stay invested through market ups and downs rather than constantly chasing trends. This is where compound growth becomes almost magical. During the first few years, progress often feels disappointingly slow. Your portfolio grows by only a modest amount. But eventually, the earnings begin generating their own earnings. Then those earnings produce even more earnings. Time starts doing the heavy lifting instead of your paycheck. The earlier you begin, the more opportunity compound growth has to work in your favor. Jason experienced this firsthand. At first, investing $50 every week felt insignificant. Friends joked that it wouldn't make him rich. But Jason wasn't trying to become rich overnight. He was building a financial machine. Every raise at work increased his investment amount. Every bonus purchased more assets instead of bigger lifestyle upgrades. Years later, those consistent investments had grown into a portfolio generating meaningful dividend income while continuing to appreciate in value. Nothing dramatic happened overnight. The transformation came from hundreds of ordinary decisions repeated consistently. Of course, investing alone isn't enough for many people who want faster financial progress. That's why successful professionals often add another income stream based on skills they already possess. Look at your current career. Chances are you've developed valuable abilities that someone else is willing to pay for. Maybe you're an accountant who can prepare tax returns during tax season. Maybe you're a graphic designer who creates logos after work. Maybe you're a software developer, project manager, writer, marketer, teacher, or consultant. Your paycheck proves that your skills have value. The next question is whether those same skills can generate income outside your employer. The beauty of skill-based income is that it usually requires very little startup capital. You're not purchasing inventory or renting commercial space. You're leveraging expertise you've already spent years developing. Every satisfied client can lead to referrals, recurring work, and eventually a reputation that attracts opportunities without constant marketing. Over time, what begins as occasional freelance work can become a dependable second income stream that continues alongside your full-time career. One important lesson is to avoid trying everything at once. Many people become overwhelmed because they chase every new opportunity they see online. One week they're researching e-commerce. The next week they're learning cryptocurrency trading. Then they jump into affiliate marketing before abandoning it for dropshipping. Constantly changing direction prevents meaningful progress. Financial success usually comes from mastering one additional income stream before adding another. Build one engine until it runs smoothly, then start building the next. As your confidence grows, something remarkable begins to happen. Money stops feeling like something you constantly chase and starts behaving more like a team working for you. Your salary still arrives every 2 weeks. Your investments continue growing. Your dividends appear on schedule. Your freelance clients send payments. Small streams become larger rivers, and each new source reduces your dependence on a single employer. That's the moment your relationship with money begins to change forever. That growing sense of security is something money alone can't buy. When your financial life is supported by several income streams instead of one paycheck, you begin making decisions from a position of confidence rather than fear. Suddenly, you're no longer terrified of asking for a raise, changing careers, or taking a calculated risk because your entire future isn't hanging on a single employer. That doesn't mean you become reckless. In fact, you become more strategic because every new income stream strengthens the foundation beneath your life. The next income stream that deserves serious attention is creating digital assets. Unlike traditional work, where you exchange hours for dollars, digital assets can continue producing income long after the initial effort is complete. Think about an online course, an ebook, a premium newsletter, printable templates, photography, music licensing, or software tools. These products require work up front, But once they're built, they can often be sold repeatedly without starting from scratch each time. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts in personal finance. Instead of constantly asking, how can I make more money this month? Start asking, what can I build once that continues creating value for years? Consider Sarah, a full-time marketing manager who loved organizing spreadsheets and simplifying complicated tasks. Friends constantly asked her for budgeting templates and financial planning worksheets. At first, she gave them away for free. Eventually, she realized thousands of people were searching for the same tools online. She spent several weekends designing professional templates and listed them on digital marketplaces. During the first month, she earned less than $100. Many people would have quit right there, assuming the idea didn't work. Instead, she kept improving her products, responding to customer feedback, and expanding her catalog. A year later, those same templates were producing income every month with very little ongoing effort. She hadn't quit her job, she had simply added another stream flowing alongside her salary. One of the biggest advantages of digital income is scalability. Imagine you're a tutor charging $50 an hour. Your income is limited by the number of hours you can work. But if you record a high-quality educational course, that same lesson can be purchased by hundreds or even thousands of students. The effort required to serve the 1,000th customer is dramatically lower than the effort required to teach the first one individually. That's the power of building systems, instead of only selling time. Technology has made this easier than ever before. Artificial intelligence can help with research, brainstorming, editing, customer support, and workflow automation. Cloud-based software allows people to manage businesses from a laptop after work. Secure payment platforms, scheduling tools, and marketing automation let small businesses operate with a level of efficiency that once required a full team. The barrier to entry has never been lower, but success still belongs to those who consistently deliver real value rather than chasing shortcuts. Another powerful income stream comes from investing in businesses rather than trying to build every business yourself. When you buy shares of profitable companies through diversified index funds or individual dividend-paying stocks, you're becoming a partial owner of businesses that employ thousands of people around the world. Those companies work every day to increase sales, improve profits, and create value for shareholders. As an investor, you benefit from their growth without needing to manage employees or oversee daily operations. That's one reason investing has remained such a cornerstone of long-term wealth building. Dividend investing deserves special attention because it creates a psychological shift that many new investors find motivating. Instead of only watching stock prices rise and fall, you begin receiving cash distributions from companies that choose to share a portion of their profits. At first, those dividend payments may only cover a cup of coffee. Then perhaps they pay your monthly streaming subscriptions. Later, they might cover your utility bill, your car payment, or eventually part of your mortgage. Every dividend reinvested purchases additional shares, and those additional shares can generate even more dividends over time. This creates a cycle where your investments gradually begin funding future investments. Real estate offers another opportunity, but many people mistakenly believe it only starts with buying a rental property. While owning rental homes can certainly become a valuable income stream, it also comes with responsibilities like maintenance, vacancies, insurance, financing, and property management. If you aren't ready for those commitments, publicly traded REITs provide another way to gain exposure to real estate through the stock market. They allow investors to participate in income-producing commercial properties without dealing directly with tenants or repairs. Understanding the difference between active real estate ownership and passive real estate investing helps you choose the path that matches your lifestyle and available time. As your income streams begin growing, it's equally important to protect what you're building. One unexpected medical emergency, lawsuit, natural disaster, or prolonged job loss can erase years of financial progress if you aren't prepared. This is why emergency funds remain one of the most underrated financial tools in America. An emergency fund isn't exciting, and it won't make headlines on social media, but it gives you something priceless: flexibility. Instead of being forced into high-interest credit card debt when life throws a surprise your way, you have cash reserves ready to absorb the impact. Debt management also plays a major role in building multiple income streams. High-interest consumer debt quietly works against you every single day. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while a large hole at the bottom allows everything to leak out. That's exactly what happens when credit card balances with high interest rates consume your monthly cash flow. Paying down expensive debt often provides a guaranteed financial benefit by reducing interest expenses, freeing up more money that can then be invested into assets that generate future income. Many successful professionals follow a simple rhythm. They earn income through their careers, protect part of that income by maintaining an emergency fund, eliminate high-interest debt, consistently invest in diversified assets, and gradually build additional income-producing projects during evenings and weekends. Notice what's missing from that formula. There are no secret loopholes, miracle investments, or promises of overnight wealth. Sustainable financial success usually comes from ordinary habits practiced with extraordinary consistency. There's also a hidden benefit to multiple income streams that isn't discussed often enough. They increase your confidence in ways that extend beyond money. When you know you can earn income from several different sources, setbacks become less intimidating. A difficult boss, an unexpected layoff, or a slow economy no longer feels like the end of your financial story. Instead, they're challenges you can navigate because you've spent years building alternatives. Jason eventually reached that point. His salary was still his largest source of income, but it was no longer his only source. Dividend payments continued arriving every quarter. His freelance consulting business generated additional cash flow each month. Digital products produced sales while he was at work. His retirement accounts continued growing through automatic contributions. None of these streams alone replaced his paycheck, but together they dramatically changed his financial life. More importantly, they gave him options. And in personal finance, options are one of the greatest forms of wealth. The truth is that financial independence rarely begins with a dramatic leap. It begins with one intentional decision repeated again and again. One investment, one client, one digital product, one automatic transfer into an index fund, one skill learned after work instead of another evening spent scrolling through social media. Those small decisions compound just like your investments do, creating results that seem almost unbelievable to people who only notice the finish line and never witness the years of steady progress behind it. As your income grows from multiple sources, another challenge begins to appear. Earning more money is only half the equation. Keeping more of what you earn and making every dollar work efficiently becomes just as important. This is where financial organization separates people who simply earn a high income from those who build lasting wealth. Every new income stream should have a purpose. Instead of allowing extra money to disappear into lifestyle inflation, create a simple system where each dollar has a job before it even reaches your checking account. Part of your income can continue funding your emergency reserve until it's fully established. Another portion can automatically flow into your 401k or IRA. Some can be invested in a taxable brokerage account for long-term growth, while another percentage can be reinvested into expanding your side business. Automation removes emotion from the process and allows your financial plan to continue working even when life becomes busy. Taxes are another reality that becomes increasingly important as your financial life expands. While nobody enjoys paying taxes, understanding the rules can help you make smarter decisions. Contributions to certain retirement accounts may provide tax advantages depending on your circumstances. Business-related expenses that qualify under IRS rules may reduce taxable income for self-employed activities. Long-term capital gains are generally treated differently from ordinary income, and dividend income may receive favorable tax treatment depending on the type of dividend and your overall tax situation. None of these strategies are about avoiding taxes illegally. They're about understanding the system and making informed decisions within the law. As your finances become more complex, working with a qualified CPA or tax professional can often save far more money than their fee costs. One of the biggest mistakes people make after creating additional income is increasing their spending at the exact same pace. They receive a raise and immediately upgrade their car. Their side hustle starts making money, and suddenly they're booking expensive vacations or financing luxury purchases they never planned for. This is known as lifestyle inflation, and it quietly destroys wealth. Financially successful people often allow their investments to grow faster than their expenses. That doesn't mean they never enjoy their money. It simply means they understand the difference between buying something that impresses other people and buying something that improves their future. Another common mistake is believing every opportunity deserves your attention. Once friends and family notice you're earning money outside your job, you'll hear about cryptocurrency that promises overnight riches, speculative investments, trading strategies that supposedly can't lose, and businesses guaranteed to make you wealthy in months. The truth is that most lasting wealth is built through patience rather than excitement. The fundamentals rarely change. Spend less than you earn. Invest consistently. Diversify your assets. Continue developing valuable skills. Protect yourself against unnecessary risk. Repeat those habits year after year. It isn't flashy, but it has helped millions of people build financial security. It's also important to recognize that not every income stream needs to produce cash immediately. Sometimes investing in yourself delivers the highest return. Learning negotiation skills may increase your salary. Improving leadership abilities may lead to a promotion. Earning an in-demand certification could open doors to consulting opportunities or higher-paying positions. Reading books on investing, business, psychology, and communication can improve decisions that influence your finances for decades. The greatest asset you own isn't your car, your house, or your investment portfolio. It's your ability to create value. As long as you continue developing that ability, you'll always have the potential to generate more income. Think back to Jason's story. 5 years after deciding to build multiple income streams, his life looked dramatically different. He still had the same disciplined work ethic, but his mindset had completely changed. Instead of depending on one paycheck every 2 weeks, he had built a financial ecosystem. His employer paid him for his expertise. His investments paid him for his patience. His digital products paid him for work he completed months earlier. His freelance clients paid him for specialized knowledge. His retirement accounts quietly compounded in the background. None of these streams appeared overnight, and none of them required quitting his 9-to-5 job. They were built one decision at a time. Then, something unexpected happened. One year, his company announced a major restructuring. Several departments were eliminated, and employees across the organization worried about layoffs. Years earlier, Jason would have spent sleepless nights wondering how he would pay his bills if his job disappeared. This time was different. He still hoped to keep his position, but fear no longer controlled him. Even if the worst happened, he knew he had investments, savings, freelance income, digital assets, and valuable skills that could support him while he found his next opportunity. That confidence didn't come from luck. It came from years of building financial resilience. That's ultimately what multiple income streams are really about. They're not just about becoming rich. They're about creating freedom. Freedom to make career choices based on opportunity instead of desperation. Freedom to spend more time with your family because you're not constantly worried about the next paycheck. Freedom to handle unexpected expenses without relying on high-interest debt. Freedom to retire on your own terms rather than because circumstances forced your hand. Financial freedom isn't a destination that suddenly appears one morning. It's a gradual process built through thousands of intentional choices. So if you're watching this today while sitting at your lunch break, commuting home from work, or relaxing after another long day at the office, remember this: you don't need to quit your job tomorrow. You don't need to risk everything on one big idea. You don't need perfect timing or perfect knowledge. What you need is the willingness to begin. Open the retirement account you've been delaying. Increase your automatic investments by a small amount. Learn a skill that someone is willing to pay for. Build a digital product. Start freelancing a few hours each week. Pay down high-interest debt. Reinvest your profits instead of spending them. Then keep repeating those actions month after month and year after year. One day you'll look back and realize that the journey wasn't defined by one life-changing moment. It was defined by hundreds of small decisions that quietly transformed your future. Every investment, every new skill, every extra income stream, and every dollar that began working on your behalf became another brick in the foundation of your financial independence. While others continued relying on a single paycheck, you built a system that could grow stronger with time. And that's the real secret to building multiple income streams without quitting your 9-to-5 job. You don't escape your job first and then build wealth. You build wealth while you have the job, until one day work becomes a choice instead of a necessity. That's when money stops controlling your life and you finally begin controlling your money.